But another thing I want to just bring to your attention this morning is the 5 o'clock update of Hurricane Milton. Still a Category 1 hurricane and still dealing with very strong hurricane force winds across the East Coast and even into Central Florida, which is why hurricane warnings have been continued and tropical storm warnings have also been continued through the morning time frame. Now, the National Hurricane Center has pinpointed the center of the eye is near Cape Canaveral and pushing off towards Cape Canaveral as of this 5 o'clock update. They're going to continue to give us hourly updates, so we'll have the next update about Milton at 6 o'clock. So just hang tight with us over the next, I say, about 49 minutes now, as it's 5:11 this morning. But we're going to continue to look at Milton push offshore. Now, despite it pushing offshore, which is great news, the bad news is we're still going to have the impacts of Milton for us throughout the day today. And check out these peak wind gusts, 70 miles per hour in Vero, 68 in Fort Pierce, and 63 in Stewart. I do suspect to see some of those numbers change as we are going to be dealing with some very strong wind gusts through 7 o'clock this morning. And as of right now, your current sustained wind speeds are ranging from 40 miles per hour throughout the Treasure Coast, a touch calmer in Palm Beach County. Even further south you go near Boynton, Delray, as well as Boca, much calmer, thankfully, throughout that southern portion of Palm Beach County. I can't wait till everyone else also joins them with calmer conditions, but I have to tell you, it's just going to be a windy day today, and I suspect to see some strong damaging wind gusts pretty much throughout even the midnight time frame. So you just really need to be smart, be aware and observant, because with these stronger wind gusts that we are experiencing right now, I mean, almost 60 miles per hour still in Vero, and 41 in Sebastian, 54 in Stewart, even 60 in West Palm Beach. So with these stronger winds, that's going to lead to some power outages, down trees. I wouldn't even rule out seeing even some signs come down, or maybe even think about a weaker structure too. So it's still going to be an impactful day today, despite it not being so much of a rainier day. We still have to be cautious of the power of the winds. And I just want to briefly compare the West Coast to the East Coast. The West Coast right now starting to see some calmer winds, where at 9-10 o'clock last night, they were dealing with wind speeds near 90 to even 100 and even 120 miles per hour along the West Coast. So it's nice to see them starting to deal with some weaker conditions. But for us on the East Coast, we are still lit up here on that wind gust map. Daytona actually just moments ago had a wind gust of 87 miles an hour as we're looking at Milton, again, just pushing offshore. But my greatest concern, again, just to reiterate it for us today, just seeing that debris and any lingering damages from the tornado outbreak yesterday, and still dealing with those stronger winds. And I wouldn't rule out seeing some additional spotty rain, especially throughout the Treasure Coast. For Palm Beach County, it's going to be pretty minimal in terms of seeing some good rain, but I wouldn't rule out, again, some spotty rain for Thursday afternoon into the Friday, pretty much all day Friday off and on. Rain showers can't be ruled out throughout the Treasure Coast. So this is still going to be an impact day for Milton, despite it finally looking to leave us. But still, again, it's near Cape Canaveral, so not 100% offshore, at least that center of the eye yet.
Hey, real quickly, Francis, and correct me if I'm wrong, so hurricane warnings right now still in place for what? Indian River, Okeechobee, St. Lucie, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And then tropical storm warnings for Martin, Palm Beach County?
Yes, so those all remain in effect, and I believe that they'll likely remain in effect through about 7 o'clock, and then hopefully we'll start to see that hurricane warning get downgraded to a tropical storm warning. I believe these are going to remain in effect due to the strength of the winds that we're still seeing out there.
Before we let you go too, Francis, as we're tracking Milton, what's the update on how close is this storm to being off the coast, removed? Because Jennifer had talked just a little bit ago about how that's now happening earlier than thought.
Much earlier than expected. I'm really hoping that by the 6 o'clock update, it's pushed offshore. So we really depict it by the true center of the eye. So that true center of the eye is near Cape Canaveral, and it says it's looked to push off Cape Canaveral. And here's a good picture of Daytona where they're still dealing. I just showed you the wind speeds near Daytona at 84 miles per hour still, and still dealing with a lot of rain. So for the areas throughout central, pretty much north central Florida, still dealing with a lot of the rain. Thankfully, it's not going to be too much of a rain event for us, but still talking about a lot of those winds, which is why the warnings remain in effect and actually got continued around 4:50 this morning for our area.